harvest time. He's the god of the cosmos, okay? Because he killed his father Uranus, the god of the sky, and so he took over the cosmos. This is all Greek mythology, and it's important that you know this because it ties directly into Saturnalia. Do you notice something about this god? Do you notice he always has a small child with him? We take a look at the next set of pictures. This is also Kronos. He ate his sons because he was afraid that they would kill him like he killed his own father. And so he killed and ate his kids so they could never take his throne. He's a cannibalist. You're going to see some incredible ties here. Cronus' birthday was the winter solstice because the sun is born every year. Now we're starting to get into the tough stuff. So Cronus' birthday was Christmas. Why was it Christmas or the winter solstice? Why was it the winter solstice? Because this is when the sun is rebirthed. This is when the sun is born. The sun is born on the winter solstice. Does that sound anything like a religion that you know of? That the sun is born on the winter solstice, at Christmas time, at the celebration of the rising of the sun. Do you see the trickery that's happening here? Do you see the mind or the word play that's happening here, that plays with your mind? That's all intentional. Cronus, also known as Saturn, is also known as Saturn. Now, why is Cronus also known as Saturn? Rings. The rings of time. Okay? What does time do? Time devours all things. This reminds me of the riddle that Gollum presented to Bilbo when he was down in the tunnels and depths with Gollum. And Gollum said, "This thing devours all things. Birds, beasts, flowers, trees, gnaws iron, bites steel, turns hard stone to meal, slays the king, ruins the town, and beats the high mountain down." And the answer is time. Time devours all things. This God represents the devouring of life. Who devours all of life? Lucifer, the black sun. And so Saturn was known as the black sun, which is time, which devours all things. Saturn Cronus was given a day of worship called Saturn's Day or Saturday. Folks, to this day, we still have a Saturday. Guess what happened on Saturday in ancient times? That was Saturn's Day. That's when everybody worshipped Kronos. Who's Kronos? Kronos is Lucifer, the black sun. Why does a hexagram represent Saturn? Well, maybe because there's a hexagon on top of Saturn. Did you know that? And how do you think these ancient people knew that there was a hexagram on top of Saturn? Did you know that this star here, this hexagram, there are 6 points, 6 triangles, and 6 sides? That's 666. That's the number of the beast. That's Satan. Did you realize this? That's what this symbology means. That's who they're worshiping. This ties you in, okay? Saturn was known and worshipped as the black sun, the god of the cosmos, the god of time, the god of death. Time devours all things. Lucifer eats all life. Lucifer, god of the earth.
What we think we understand, where we came from, what we think we're doing, the more you begin to see we've been lied to. We've been lied to by every institution. What makes you think for 1 minute that the religious institution is the only one that's never been touched? You can bet your bottom dollar that the religious institutions of this world are at the bottom of the dirt. The religious institutions in this world are put there by the same people who gave you your government, your corrupt education. The Knights Templars who set up your international banking cartels in the 12th, 13th, and 14th century are the same people that gave you educational institutions, colleges. Where do we get the word college? College comes from the collegia, the Latin Roman college of cardinals. I could go on for hours just give you examples. When you graduate, you come out with a square mortar board, a black square mortar board. What's all that about? Black square mortar boards. It has to do with the planet Saturn. Saturn, we're told that in the Old Testament that the Hebrew people, the Jewish people, were worshipers of one God. That's never been true, not true now, and never will be true. That's just one more story that's been given to us. It's never been true. The Hebrew people were worshipers of many gods, many different divine beings. They were the most eclectic theology on the face of the earth. Next to modern day Christianity is Judaism. Eclectic meaning it has collected from all over the world concepts and ideas and put it together and called it today Judaism. Judaism today is the most eclectic religion on the face of the earth. Virtually nothing of what it teaches is true. Virtually nothing of its supposedly background is true. And consequently, the world is filled with violence, bloodshed, or disorder. Good people are dying. There are children who are starving. Our world is in trouble. And people are calling out to God for protection. People are calling out to God to help our nation, and never realizing for one moment that the divine presence in the universe not listening. Why? Because you have your own concepts of whatever you think is true, whatever you believe to be true, but you have never confronted the real truth. The real truth is that the people who are in power, who put this system together, have been in power for thousands of years. This has been going on from day one. All of the things which are going on in this world today, from 9/11, all of the wars in the Middle East, all of the incredible bloodshed that's being spilled all over the earth, can be traced back to, and you might want to remember what I'm saying here, because I'm sure you're not going to make the connection when I first tell you, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. The things which are happening today, the people who are in power in this country, the great generals from around the world who are planning wars and violence and bloodshed, all of this stuff can be traced back to the planet Saturn. Saturn is a very, very pivotal, important concept in theology and religion. And most people have never been told any of this and have no knowledge of it at all. But the planet Saturn is very important in world affairs, in theology. In the Islamic belief, the holy city of Mecca, which is in Saudi Arabia, Mecca has a Masonic circle, and within the Masonic circle is a square, because you got to do everything on the square, remember. You have a town square, you have New York Square, you have Vatican Square, you have Red Square, you have all kinds of squares. Why? Because this is Masonic. And it goes all the way back into the ancient world, the terms and symbols. Again, the planet is called the Black Square. It's called the Dark Sun, the Black Sun. This is what the Nazis and the SS and the Gestapo wore black. That's why priests wear black. That's why judges wear black robes. Why do you think a judge wears a black robe? He wears a black robe because when you used to graduate from university, you wear a black robe. Why black robes? Darth Vader wears a black robe. What the hell does a black robe have to do with anything? The judges wear black robes. Supreme Court judges wear black robes. Black robes represent the priesthood of the planet Saturn, the Saturnalian Brotherhood. All you need to do is study Nazism, and you will begin to see that the powers behind the Nazi Party, the Thule Society, the Germanian Order, were all members of something called the Saturnalian Brotherhood, the Brotherhood of Saturn. Saturn was the god of darkness, chaos, and destruction. He teaches you a lesson. He will take your life if you don't listen to him. So consequently, Saturn was very, very important in the ancient world. Thank you. Saturn's name, incidentally, in the old Phoenician ancient Canaanite religion in the Middle East, the old Phoenician Canaanite worship of the planet Saturn was the most important god of all the ancient world, was the planet Saturn, and his symbol, long before the Hebrews were ever in Cana, the symbol in Cana for the planet Saturn was a six-pointed star. Today we call that star the Star of David. There was no Star of David. It's the Star of Saturn. All of the Jewish reference books, all the Encyclopedia Judaica, you go to the synagogue, go up into Mulholland Drive, up to the Jewish University and spend 3 weeks there and look up Saturn. You'll find out that 98% of all Judaism is a worship of the planet Saturn. Better wake up and understand where this stuff comes from. Because if there is a God in heaven, if there is a divine presence in the universe that demands righteousness and justice, then you're going to have to rethink what we believe and where we're going and what the world is all about, because for the last 2,000 years we haven't done too well